With the live radio is a bit near the commentary, so check your radios, just make sure it's not you've got a live switch on there, please, because the last thing they want to hear is me rattling on. Okay, that's all been cleared, and we're all good to go. Watch the light cry from the front. Okay, we're going to get the ninjas off first. The lights go out very rapidly indeed. Who's going to get the jump there? Huskinson. Oh, a little bit of a run there, I think, actually. Between Huskinson and Lucas King, maybe. It's going to be Lucas who leads the way. I can see Max Hardy going around the outside of Danny Huskinson there as well on the distinctive pink fight. So there we go. So Max definitely going to be looking for the lap record to get back the one he lost to Brands Hatch. I'll explain more of that later as the lights go out on the MZs. And who's got the jump there? I'm thinking that's Andy Wales who's managed to hook up very nicely. No, it's Alex Mann who is going to lead very comfortably. That number one plate shining in the foreground here. So in to Old Hall they go, disappear briefly out of my sight, then over the hill, and all the MZs are away safely as well. But I think Max Hardy's going to be the man to watch here, mate. And Lucas King is certainly going to try and lead the way. The championship leader at the moment is Lucas King. He's the one who managed to pick up 3 out of 4 wins. Harley Baker was the other winner of the last round of Brands Hatch. But it was Lucas who leads the way with, or does lead the way with 75 points at this early stage. Now remember, Harvey is third in the championship at this stage. In your sight yet, Bradley?
Just got them here into the braking zone now, and Lucas King leads the way with Matt Hardy there in second position, both doing the doctor's dangle, but I can imagine Matt Hardy's leg has a little bit more of an effect. Lucas King leads from Matt Hardy and Danny Hutchinson, and that's Chloe Gleason, number 25, who's up next. That's fourth on the circuit, but that will be second in the juniors at the moment, Keith, for Chloe Gleason.
Well, that's a started well, mate. She started basically fourth on the grid, so she's away very well indeed. You're right, she was started second, so it'd be great if she could finish there or even higher in this race, won't it? Be a best result, I think.
Certainly will. Andy Wales leads the way in the MZs, number 85, Andy Wales ahead of the number 1, the reigning champion of Alexander Mann. Then it's Caleb Wright ahead of Gordon Ryan in fifth position. And then it is one of the rugby riders there, number 89, James McCormack, the man from Woking. So he's having a good ride at the moment. But all the MZs through, the leaders in the ninjas should be back to you.
Yep, they certainly are over the line. It is Lucas ahead of Max Hardy, Danny Hutchinson. And it's Bray and Gleason, you're right, she's holding on to that second in class ahead of Alfie Garrett, and then Harley Baker's up next. Chloe has never actually been on a podium. She's probably getting a nosebleed bit up that high. Let's see if the girl can go on and claim her first ever medal. Baker, Cowie, Brunson, McCarthy, Solyu, Barrel, Lees, King, Bainborough and Egginton are the next of the runners in that particular class. As the MZs come across the line, as we'd expect MZs to do, literally side by side, separated by fractions of a second, 0.048. That's Wales ahead of Mann, but I think looking at them, I think Mann's got the advantage going down there. Now, the little ninjas there, I'm going to keep a close eye on their lap times, and the fastest in the first sector, Bradley, was Bray there actually in fourth place. So fair play to Dan Bray. He could well be a contender as well, but of course he's a senior rider, so he needs to get on terms with Hardy and Huskinson ahead of him.
Max Hardy still now ahead of Lucas King, number 7, leads number 16, Danny Huskinson there, and Dan Bray is bringing along Alfie Garrett and Chloe Gleason. So Chloe in 6th position at the moment, ahead of the number 124 machine of Harley Baker. 164 up next, and the 164 machine of George Cowie ahead of Mike Brunson. But some good battles in the ninjas here, Keith. A little bit of a gap further down the field, but again, a bit of a three-way fight coming in towards Hiddies now on the change of direction towards Knickerbrook. But it was Danny Huskinson who's starting to feel the pressure from the rear now as the leaders of the MZs come back towards us. Alexander Mann was the man leading, but it's back to Andy Wales who has the advantage. So Andy Wales and Alexander Mann, that is the duo at the front of this race. Up into third place, ahead of Caleb Wright and Gordon Ryan. That's the top 5.
No tail stuff in the ninjas, as I think it's King going down the outside of Hardy there to reclaim the lead here at Old Hall. Huskinson is staying in the battle there as well. So Huskinson definitely in the mix here and going with the leaders. Garrett has moved up very nicely. I noticed he was the fastest overall in the first sector, and he's come across the line. First man into the 2-minute even. Doesn't quite break that bracket though. He's now ahead of Bray. Gleason has actually slipped down to third place. She's got an advantage at the moment of about 2 seconds over Harley Baker, and I think she went quite a bit quicker. Yeah, she went about a second and a half quicker or so than Harley, so hopefully she can at least hang on there as Harley led over the line. Fastest lap of a 2:01.446. I think these three might be tripping each other up. You'd think they could maybe work together and get the slipstream advantage there at some point. Man leads Wales across the line, this time by 0.4 of a second, so he clearly had enough of following. Martin Chris Kent is up to third place in the MZs ahead of Caleb Wright, Gordon Ryan, John Ashmead and Graham Lewis. And the leaders back with you, Bradley.
Certainly are, in towards his now. And it's still Max Hardy from Lucas King, but Lucas just about scraping his elbow on the ground through the left. Over to the right now of Knickerbrook, Danny Huskinson. Alfie Garrett is right there. Looks like Dan Bray's walk touched a little bit. Chloe Gleeson in a solid 6th position at the moment. And next up will be Annabelle McCarthy ahead of Mike Brunston. Let's say a few places back, but Annabelle McCarthy ahead of Mike Brunston. That's the 90 and the number 36 machine. So Harry Barrett and Leo Solyu. Leo Solyu, the man from Vaughan, so not too far away from my neck of the woods there, Keith.
Okay, maybe no relation to Ian Nix. I think Ian's at Bristol somewhere from memory. So might be mixing up the Solyus there.
I'm assuming there's only one ball.
Yeah, there might be another ball out there somewhere as well. Yep, anyway, it doesn't matter about that because over the line here we come. It's a little bit close up. Over the line once again, the top four are separated by 0.3 of a second. Nothing special in the lap times. Fastest man though is Alfie Garrett. This time with a 2 minute 4:5.94. Everybody else still in the 2:01. It is Hardy still leading the way ahead of Lucas King, Hutchinson, Garrett, Fly, Gleeson, Baker. Howie, no change till we get to Annabelle McCarthy, who has bypassed Mike Brunson. Unfortunately, that's not got place in class. It is only overall, but at 10th to 9th, it's good stuff from her. She needs to find another couple of places to clamber back onto the podium where she has occupied before. But right now, top lady racer reward is going to Chloe Gleeson, doing a great job down there.
They're on towards Island Bend and Shell Oils now, and Alfie Garrett was up into 3rd position. He relegated Danny Huskinson, as he said there, Keith, but Alfie Garrett was laying it over the top of Lucas King, trying to go the long way round down here at Cascades, but not this time around. But
this man continues to lead in the MZs. I think Andy Wales got a little bit held up by one of the back marking ninjas. He went round the outside of them at Old Hall here, so it's an advantage man there. Close battle for the 3rd place. It is Wright, Kent and Ryan. Those three guys separated by about 0.7 of a second, so they have their own little back marker or slipstreaming battle there. The leader's back with you, mate.
Ninja's back with me now, and it's Lucas King and Max Hardy and Alfie Garrett, but Alfie is looking a little bit impatient here, is he, behind Max Hardy? Max Hardy trying to tuck in that 6'4" frame behind that small bearing on these Ninja 400s. But he's there in 2nd position. He's chasing hard after 16 Lucas King while trying to keep the 27 of Alfie Garrett at bay. There goes Annabelle McCarthy, opening up the gap a little bit over Mike Brunston. And in the MZs, I heard you say that sounded as though Andy Wales has been caught out a little bit by the tail-enders in the Ninjas, and that certainly seems to be the case as they exited Cascades and on towards Island Bend. But I can see that the black leathers and white crash helmet of the reigning champion Alexander Mann already in towards his chicane now. Andy Wales quite some way back there, Keith, so he really has been caught out, hasn't he?
Certainly has. Lucas King now has a healthy lead over Alfie Garrett. Healthy is 4:10, full healthy. He's into the 2 minutes this time round as well, but only just. Danny Hutchinson has come across the line, and we're missing Max Hardy. He's coming to the fence, mate. He's parking the bike, so I'm glad he didn't get another lap record over to see it snatched away from him at the last moment. So he's dipping down the order there. He's actually come across the line showing in 6th place because you trip the timing beam as you come in. The last lap goes out to everybody. So it's King, Garrett, Huskinson, Bray, Gleeson, 3rd place still. Baker in a little bit further back. He's now technically in 4th juniors, 6th place overall, ahead of Howie McCarthy, Brunson, Farrell and Solyu. Once again, that MZ of Alex Mann unchallenged, well away in the lead here. He's got a gap of 6.5 seconds over Andy Wales. So Andy will be just scratching his head, wondering what little tweak he can find. We're waiting for that next battle in the MZ to come over, because this is the close one between Wright, Kent and Ryan. There is a change. Ryan goes past on Kent that time, but he's now dropped a little bit to Caleb Wright. So Caleb looking very good for the 3rd place in that particular race. There you what, Keith, we've got a battle here for the win in the Ninjas, because Lucas King was so hard on the brakes, but Alfie Garrett is right there with him as he go out of sight again.
underneath the bridge on the way towards Waterworks and Druids, but it's going to be very, very close between Lucas King, number 16, and 27, Alfie Garrett. And Annabelle McCarthy just coming under pressure now from the 164 of George Cowie. There's Mike Brunston, who lost the position on that previous lap, but well, it's going to go one of two ways, Keith.
Yeah, well, hopefully it's going to go one of two ways, either King or Garrett puts the battle for the overall race, and also, of course, junior points as well. Huskinson looking good for another 25 in the seniors as well, so it's definitely working out nicely for him as the checkered flag flies, and it is indeed a delight of Lucas King. So that were amazing. Western very happy indeed to be able to come up here. Danny Huskinson though unchallenged in the end of the seniors because he's well ahead of Bray there. That's Dan Bray, but nonetheless Dan has put a good effort in there and get a taste of that champagne with the other person celebrating her first ever medal. I'll have to make sure we mention this at presentation tonight. That is Chloe Gleason, well done her. Harley Baker's up next, and Annabelle McCarthy in 5th place. George Cowie, Mike Brunston. Followed over the line next by Harry Barrell, who finishes in, where does Harry finish in 10th overall. The Solus up next is